Hello everyone, thank you again for coming on to my channel, and for today's video I've been asked to comment in a recent podcast the question about the visit of past assembly person Mr. YB Nushi Mahfuz, and he was seen to be visiting a temple wearing some sort of very Hindu costume, and being part of some sort of ritual, although of course he's not actually practicing the ritual. But he said that he was there to meet the Hindu community and ask about his community affairs, as what he is responsible as an assembly person, and I respect that very much. But there is a question then from the podcaster that has past changed its stand, is now past very tolerant, or is this just a political optic, knowing that the Ai Kuning election is coming up, because the Ai Kuning election has about more than 40% non-Muslim, and there is no chance from various analysis that PAS is going to win, because the overwhelming votes from the Malay community as well as the non-Malay community being added on from the Pakatan Harapan vote bank. And so many are predicting a wipeout for Parti Islam Malaysia. So is this some kind of a political optics? And then there is also the matter of another past member, another past member, Mokhtar Senik, who's part of the Dewan Ulama, actually not agreeing to this Ustaz Nushi having visited a Hindu temple. He was advising very nicely about the idea that you don't have to visit any temple because Islam is already a very tolerant religion, so no need to make a show of such things. And so I think this is a very interesting aspect which I would like to comment on. Now let us first of all be very clear about what is the perspective of Muslims visiting other houses of worship. Now, of course, there may be many different views on this matter, and you can have the view of the Mufti of Terengganu, which says that you can only go to a temple or a house of worship of others' faith if you have the intention of converting people to Islam. Now that is his view, and I respect that view. I don't know where it comes from, but that is one view. And he was actually commenting on the incident of the Perak religious department recommending and having a very good program of their ustaz or religious officers having to visit other temples and other houses of worship in order to bring better knowledge, better understanding, and a good relationship among the people, as what Muslims are supposed to do. The Prophet Muhammad had said that Muslims are very easy people to make friends with. But of course, knowing our country and its various so-called Islamic issues like the Akmal Saleh Kemat, very antagonistic, it does look like difficult to live with Muslim. But as people who know me, they are very thankful about in the manner of openness and the manner of courtesy, and also the manner in which we have conduct our relationship in terms of a very good situation. Now, with this aspect, the question then comes, which one is Parti Islam Malaysia? Is this the Nushi part, or is this the Mokhtar Senik part? Now, I will give my opinion on this matter. Now, for me, I have looked at the background of Ustaz Nushi Mahfuz, and he has a very colorful background of being a corporate figure. If you can read his biodata, he has been advisors to several banks, meaning he has been throughout the world. He's even born in Britain. like one of my children were also born, two of them born in Scotland. And so he may have a different upbringing, and therefore I have always said that people who have lived in a place where Muslims are minority, they will be having more humility and also better knowledge and also better relationship, as opposed to some people who have always been with their own kind, their own race, their own religion. They tend to be more tempurung like, being more close-minded. And this is a problem with a lot of Muslims, not to say that they are at fault, but because of their upbringing and also the things that they learn from the teachers who were also from the same kind of cocoon as well as tempurung. Now we come to the question of what about Parti Islam se-Malaysia? Can Malaysian trust Parti Islam se-Malaysia? Well, I answered in the podcast in saying that for me, I do not want to make an assumption about the niat or the intention, private intentions of people, because that is beyond us human beings. Only God knows our real intention. But I do believe that if we were to judge Nushi Mahfuz, we can just judge by saying that, well, it could be on his own intention, as I said, with his background that he has this. But we need to actually look at the background. As an academic, would look and search in the background. Has he written anything nasty about the other people? Has he been like Hadi Awang saying non-Muslims are like animals, or that has he been like Mastura calling Chinese Lim Kit Siang as part of a communist family, or Razman who is also the Perak head, again trying to relate the idea of communist China or Chinese being disloyal, suggesting such things. Now that needs to be done, and this is something which we can actually easily do to know whether it is an individual effort, or is he part of a new or another wing of the or another section of the Parti Islam se-Malaysia that does not agree with this hardline aspect of Ahmad Fadli or Hadi Awang and Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man, as well as Taqiyuddin. All these people are seemingly to be more hardline. Hardline meaning they are intolerant, meaning they are not part of Malaysia. They can never be part of Malaysia if they have that attitude, the attitude of mengkafirkan, calling people kafir harbi, calling people in terms of the Qunut Nazila. All these are very, very dangerous aspect that gives the impression that the Islam, so-called Parti Islam se-Malaysia, is actually making enemies of citizens of this country through their kafir harbi pronunciation as well as their Qunut Nazila, which they have never apologized as a political party. And until I actually see some idea about this, and also I have mentioned to the podcast, I said, have you seen them apologizing for this? No, they haven't. Have you seen them maybe have a forum on say Islam and multicultural living? Have you seen them give speeches that is sounding like they are ready to be part of the global coexistence in relation to different civilizations? Have you seen them respect other religions in terms of having meetings in their houses of worship, and not just this one-off affair, and the aspect of them looking to help anyone and everyone, like what happened in the fire of Putra Heights, where the Hindu temple have opened their doors to all people? Have they actually defended the issue of cultural heritage in terms of the Hindu temple relocation recently? I don't think they have done any of this. And so for me, it's either the gesture of one person who I see wearing some sort of Hindu costume. I have visited many temples before. None of the temples or churches have required me to wear anything except for the Gurdwara that you have to cover your head. That is also something that is very interesting. And I think if someone were to visit a temple in order to understand the problems and issues, I think a lot of us in our office attire would be welcome. But of course, as I do not want to comment on the intention of wearing such costume as well as visiting the temple at the time that we have the Air Kuning election. So I look upon this as perhaps the intention of one particular person to actually project a different kind of Islam, which then I support immensely. I respect Ustaz Nushi Mahfuz. He will certainly be someone that I'll be looking at in terms of his philosophy, his ideas, his speeches. I will definitely be looking at that very closely. But at the moment, we may assume perhaps he is part of another faction in past who's looking to be a bit more soft line, or not being a hardliner like the leadership at the present. But of course, we can never do away with the possibility of political optics. Suddenly, you're doing this at a certain time, that can be construed as a political optics. And political optics to take on the idea of wearing costumes like what some people have. Sometimes when people put a headdress or put in a garland, these are quite ordinary things, and we have seen Najib Tun Razak, we have seen Razali Hamzah having that, and also even Anwar Ibrahim. But I have yet to see someone in a real Hindu kind of costume. But we did see what's his name, Nizar, which one is the son of Najib Tun Razak, wearing a whole emperor costume. So that is also quite new to me. I've never worn any costume, though I respect all religion and all faith, and I do not have any political optics to show off. And so this is something which many Malaysians need to look at. So let's follow closely Ustaz Mahfuz as a kind of a leader that perhaps shows a different Islam. And also we look at what Parti Islam Malaysia, whether they have apologized for the past sins, and also whether they are having more intelligent statements, statements that can build the country, statements that can build relationships, statements that can bridge civilizations, rather than political statements of opportunism. If you want to rule, then show good manners. If you want to rule, then show good adab in speaking. If you want to rule, then give ideas. Wearing costumes is nice, and visiting temples is also a start, but it takes more than that. Thank you very much. Hello everyone, my name is Professor Dr. Muhammad Tajuddin, and I have written a book called Not the Islam I Know. This book is a compilation of many of my writings over the past 15 years with regard to what is called Islamic issues in the country. And the main intention of the book is actually to show that many of the practices, perspectives, values, and actions of most Muslims may not be the same, or is usually not the same, as the teachings represented by the tradition of the Prophet Muhammad through the Hadith and the Quran, from my own perspective of understanding it.